Across the American South, a silent invasion is reshaping the land. Millions of wild boars are tearing through farms, forests, and neighborhoods, leaving behind a trail of destruction that costs billions each year. They're fast, intelligent, and nearly impossible to stop. What started as a small problem has turned into a nationwide crisis threatening crops, ecosystems, and even human safety. This isn't just a wildlife issue anymore. It's a battle for control of the land itself. Across the southern plains of the United States, the quiet rhythm of rural life is being replaced by a constant struggle against one of the most destructive invasive animals on the continent. What began decades ago as a small population of escaped domestic pigs has now evolved into a nationwide crisis. Wild boars, or feral hogs, have adapted to nearly every environment, from open farmlands to dense forests, spreading with incredible speed and resilience. Their population continues to surge, and their impact reaches deep into agriculture, ecology, and rural livelihoods. What was once considered a minor wildlife issue has become an unstoppable force that reshapes entire landscapes. In states like Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Georgia, the scale of destruction is staggering. Each year, wild boars cause billions of dollars in damage to crops, infrastructure, and ecosystems. Farmers wake up to find freshly planted fields shredded overnight, irrigation systems torn apart, and fences ripped from the ground. They destroy fields of corn, peanuts, wheat, and soybeans within hours, leaving behind nothing but churned mud and broken roots. For many landowners, the losses are not just financial. They represent years of work undone by a single night of chaos. Despite extensive control measures, the population keeps growing faster than it can be managed. The biology of the species itself fuels this crisis. Female boars, known as sows, reproduce with extraordinary speed. They can give birth twice a year, each litter producing up to a dozen piglets. Within a few months, those piglets become breeding adults, perpetuating a relentless cycle of expansion. This reproductive rate means that even large-scale culling operations struggle to keep numbers stable. Wildlife agencies estimate that to merely maintain current population levels, around 70% of the total must be removed each year, a nearly impossible task given the animal's intelligence and adaptability. Feral hogs are not just agricultural pests. Their feeding habits wreak havoc on entire ecosystems. By rooting and digging through soil in search of food, they destroy native vegetation, accelerate erosion, and disrupt water quality in streams and ponds. Their omnivorous diet includes everything from crops and roots to amphibians, reptiles, and the eggs of ground-nesting birds. This competition for resources pushes out native species like deer, turkeys, and quail, altering the balance of local wildlife populations. The environmental toll is long-lasting and often irreversible. Their intelligence makes them one of the most challenging invasive species to control. They quickly learn to avoid traps, recognize vehicles, and change their movement patterns when they sense danger. Hunters often report that herds, known as sounders, can disappear for weeks after a failed capture attempt, only to reappear miles away under cover of night. These animals are capable of memorizing locations, identifying scents, and adjusting their behavior based on past experiences. This ability to learn and adapt means that traditional control methods like fencing, baiting, or trapping lose effectiveness over time. Government and private organizations have spent millions of dollars developing new control methods. Aerial hunting, particularly in Texas, has become one of the most visible tactics. From helicopters, trained marksmen target large herds in open terrain, aiming to reduce numbers quickly. It's costly, dangerous, and logistically demanding. Yet for many regions, it remains the most effective immediate solution. On the ground, Thermal drones are now used to detect movement at night, guiding teams to hidden sounders that might otherwise go unnoticed. Research continues into chemical control options and advanced trapping systems that can capture entire groups at once. Despite these efforts, eradication still seems far out of reach. The spread of wild boars extends beyond rural areas. Suburban regions are beginning to face encounters that pose serious safety risks. Reports have surfaced of hogs damaging property, colliding with vehicles, and even attacking pets and livestock. Their aggression, particularly when cornered or protecting young, makes them a genuine threat to humans. Wildlife officials warn that as their numbers rise, so too does the likelihood of these encounters becoming more frequent and dangerous. The economic and environmental challenges have led to a growing collaboration between farmers, hunters, and wildlife biologists. Across the southern states, coordinated programs aim to balance population control with ecosystem protection. Data from tracking collars and camera traps provide insights into migration patterns and behavior. These findings guide where resources should be focused and help design more strategic management plans. Still, progress remains slow compared to the speed at which these animals reproduce and spread. In many rural communities, the fight against wild boars has become part of daily life. Ranchers organize hunting groups, share information on movement patterns, and build stronger enclosures to protect their property. For them, this effort is not about sport. It's about preserving their land, their livelihoods, and their heritage. While some see hunting as a necessary measure, others emphasize the importance of continued research and sustainable control strategies. The challenge lies in maintaining balance, removing enough animals to protect the environment without creating further ecological disruption. Experts believe that the only way to manage the crisis long-term is through a combination of science, technology, and local cooperation. Genetic studies are being conducted to understand their breeding behavior and resistance to disease. Remote monitoring systems track population densities, while community reporting apps allow landowners to log sightings in real time. Education programs aim to prevent the illegal release or transport of feral hogs, a key factor in their rapid spread. Although these steps represent progress, the complexity of the problem means it will likely persist for generations. The wild boar invasion is a reminder of how quickly nature can adapt when introduced to the wrong environment. These animals have proven capable of surviving extreme conditions, evading control, and thriving where few other species can. Their story is not one of simple destruction, but of evolution and resilience qualities that make them both fascinating and formidable. As states continue to invest in control programs and research, the reality remains that this is not a short-term battle. It is an ongoing effort to restore balance between human activity and a species that refuses to be contained. For farmers, conservationists, and hunters alike, the mission is clear. Protect the land and find ways to coexist with a problem that has no easy solution. Every field repaired, every trap set, and every night spent watching over the land represents a small stand in a much larger fight. The wild boar epidemic continues to reshape the American South, testing the limits of human persistence and adaptation. While complete eradication may never be achieved, the determination to confront the problem shows no signs of fading. Those who live on these lands understand that survival here has always depended on one thing: never backing down from the challenges nature creates.